Hello again, viewers, and greetings, fellow space travelers. This is Thorn of Night, and welcome to episode 49 of my bee breeding guide. In this episode, we're going to go take a hike past the magical land of the Veiled Line and continue on through the Arcane Line into the Aware area and go to the new branch called the Time Branch. Now this branch adds 3 new bees that once you see their names, you will hopefully be able to recognize a theme here. They are the Timely, the Lordly, and the Doctoral. And if you don't know what that reference is, then I will leave the research up to you, but the bees are added by magic bees, and they are relatively typical bees. They need flowers and normal conditions, but they do have longer lifespans. Also, they have a few tolerances to their environment, but most important here are their effects. The Timely bee adds the Time Warp effect, which adds slowness. The Lordly bee makes the effect Drunkard, which adds nausea for a few seconds. And then finally, the Doctoral bee adds the Heroic effect, which damages nearby bad guys. The output of these guys are in the normal range, so it's a little bit above average. But as you can see, there's the Elongated, Long, and Longest life. And lastly, the final 2 bees, the Lordly and the Doctoral, are also nocturnal, so you can get them to work at night. But let's take a look at their output that you can expect to get. A few things going on here, and all of it is rather atypical. First off, the comb that these guys produce is called temporal comb. And when you run that through a centrifuge, you get 3 different things. One is honeydew, which can be used for several things, including blank templates for doing some genetic manipulation, and some ambrosia for food. Also, one of the recipes for glistering melons does include the honeydew. Next up is the magic wax, which is used for several things in Thaumcraft, not the least of which is the essence of everlasting durability, used in a few recipes, as well as glass files. And then finally here, we can get some of this phased pollen, which can be used for making, that was supposed to be temporal frames. I do apologize. Let's see here. Temporal frame? Temporal frame, there we go. Sorry about that. But specifically the Doctoral bee will give you a handful of jelly babies, continuing on with the reference there. And like I said, I won't spoil it for you if you don't get it. You get to do some research on your own for that aspect. But let's go take a look at what you can expect to get from these bees. And hopefully this won't crash. Excellent. First off, I should mention that the map that I have here, let me go ahead and sleep, I made in the Feed the Beast Unleashed mod pack, and I am making it available for download through a link in the description below, and it includes all the stuff I've gone over in this whole series, all the different branches of bees, and all the different components and all that. So there's a lot to look at if you want to download this and do some experimenting of your own or investigate things on your own. Feel free. The link will be down below. But let's get on to the bees themselves. First off, we have the Timely bee, which is a level 9. So let me go ahead and explain the level system that I devised here. Basically, a hive bee is level 1. When you combine 2 hive bees, for instance, to get a common, that's a level 2. And anything that uses level 2s become a level 3. So therefore, since this uses a level 8 bee, this is in fact a level 9 bee. And so it generally means 9 steps away from a hive bee. So it's going to take you a while to get here. But the bees that are needed to make this branch are the Ethereal from the Aware branch and the Imperial from the Noble branch. If you do not know how to make those, you can either watch my Aware and or Noble videos, or if you've downloaded this map, you can hop through the books here and go take a visit to them and figure out how to make them that way. But let's take a look at the bees themselves. I will need to grab the princess for this, but we're here for the timely drone mostly. The princess is just so I know how long it took me to get this. And that was just one generation, so that's not too bad there. But let's see here. Not quite the purebred that you can get sometimes, but that's alright. I will leave these in here for you to take a look at and compare and whatever. But let's take a look at the output that you can get from purebred timely bees. For one life cycle, they do have the longer lives, so they will produce more no matter what. So we can get several comb out of one life cycle of a queen, but you are going to get those 2 drones there. Yeah, it looks like about 3 maximum. But out of a stack of that temporal comb, you can expect to get a stack of magic wax, 3/4 of a stack thereabouts of honeydew, and very minimal, about 1/4 of a stack or less of the phased pollen. Pretty rare stuff, but it's very useful for that that time frame, or for the what was it called? I forgot the name again. Temporal frame, for putting into the apiaries and the alvearies. Next up, we have the lordly bee, which is level 10. It will use some imperial bees, like the imperial bees from the noble hub over there, and also the timely bee that you just got from that. I've got some stock here for you to play with if you wish. But let's look at this. I will need the princess to tell the age, and then the drone here to just get a good look at it. This took a couple generations to make, and it won't necessarily take you 2 generations. Might be 1, might be 10. It's all probability thing, but keep at it. You will eventually get it. And this actually looks like it became a purebred bee. That's kind of nice. So I will leave these here for you to look at if you wish, but more importantly, let's take a look at the output from the purebred queens. And this is once again one life cycle. As before, you can expect to get 2 drones and a few of those comb. Looks like 2, probably 3 once again. And there's another example of the output. As you can see, that magic wax is a 1-for-1 ratio there. But let's finish it off with the doctoral bee, level 11, about as high as it gets. Requires both of the bees you've bred thus far. So here's some stock for you there. Let's grab this princess and the doctoral drone. See how long this took me. 4 generations, not too bad. And then comparing that. Oh, also I guess I should mention the doctoral bee does have that larger area when you get that bred out well enough. It's the second smallest area. There are 2 above it, but it's larger than the average, the normal area. And as you can see, you've got... Oh, they also work in the rain. I forgot to mention that. My apologies. But that's that. And I will leave these in here for you to take a look at once again. But let's see the output here from the queens. Once again, you're going to get the doctoral, or the 2 drones from the doctoral bees. And some chances at that comb. More chances, obviously, because it's the longest lifespan. But you can also get some of these handfuls of jelly babies, which are just food that you can nom. And once again, here's some typical output from a stack of that temporal comb. Now, the bees in this branch are not used for any of the other bees, any other new species that you can make. So it's pretty much an end of the line. However, you can obviously take the traits from some of these bees and breed them into others. So they aren't completely useless, and they do have some very interesting and useful output as well. So it's a good bee to strive for. However, if you aren't wearing a bee suit, an apiary suit, some of the effects, namely the time warp and the drunkard, will have some temporary effects on you if you're nearby while they're operating. Now, As far as I understand, the drunkard effect is supposed to be negated by the apiarist suit. However, in my experience, it is not. However, the timely effect, the time warp effect rather, does get negated by the suit. So use the suit if you want to. It's not really detrimental. It's just kind of there, and it doesn't last too long anyway. But that is pretty much really all there is to say about this branch. So thank you very much for watching. I hope this was helpful and informative. However, if you do have any questions or comments or suggestions, please feel free to leave them in the comment section below, and I will do my best to respond as quickly as possible. Also, if you like this video and you like what I'm doing here, please feel free to give me a like. I appreciate that. And if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe so you know when my future stuff comes out. But this is where I'm going to have to go ahead and wrap up. So thank you once again for watching. This is Thorn of Night, and I will talk to you later.